Hello class and welcome to our first Flip Spanish lesson. Today we will be learning how to use verbs in Spanish. Everyone knows what a verb is, right? A verb is the action word in a sentence. It's what someone is doing. In English, we often say things like my name is, I am, she has, he is going, or we need. Can you pick out the verbs in these phrases? Is and am are forms of the verb to be. Has is the verb to have. We also have the verbs to go and to need. These are what we call the infinitive forms of these verbs. In English, the infinitive forms of verbs start with the word to. So we have to call oneself, or my name is. We have to be, to go, to need, and to have. Here are those same verbs translated into Spanish. For to call is llamar. To be means ser or estar. To have is tener. To go is ir. And to need is necesitar. In order to use these verbs, we have to do what's called conjugate them. Have you heard of conjugating before? Conjugate means to take that infinitive form of the verb and change it to fit the subject of your sentence, who we're talking about. For example, we could say I talk or she talks. Notice how talk and talks are different conjugations of the same English verb to talk. We do the same thing in Spanish. But do we always talk about what people are doing right now in the present? No. English and Spanish both have different verb conjugations for the present tense, the past tense, and the future, and also a few other tenses. Today we are only learning how to conjugate Spanish verbs in the present tense. In Spanish, there are 3 types of verbs. What's different about them is the last 2 letters of each verb. All verbs in Spanish end in either AR, ER, or IR. So we have llamar, which you'll remember means to call, which is an AR verb. See how the ending is AR? Then we have ser, which is one way to say to be. That's an ER verb. And decir, which means to say. That's an IR verb. Okay, so who are we going to talk about? Every sentence has a subject, and the subject of a sentence determines how we conjugate the verb of the sentence. In this table, you can see the different subject pronouns that a sentence can have and how we say them in Spanish. To say I, you say yo. To say you say tu. To say he, you say él. And to say she, you say ella. And it can be either one of those depending on what it is. This whole column are the singular pronouns, for if there is only one subject that the sentence is talking about. The next column is all of the plural pronouns, for if there are multiple subjects. So first is nosotros, which means we. Nosotros means a group, and if the group is all females, then we say nosotras. But if there is even just one man in a group, then we must use nosotros. Next is vosotros, which means you all. This pronoun is only used in Spain, so it's kind of like saying y'all. It works the same way as nosotros if the group is all females. Finally is ellos or ellas, which means they. That also works the same way as those other plural subject pronouns. So if the group is all females, then we must use ellas. So next in this chart, we have the English conjugations of the verb to do for all of these different pronouns. So we have I do, you do, he, she, or it does, we do, you all do, or they do. Those are all pretty similar, right? That's not the case in Spanish. First up is AR verbs. We're going to practice with the verb hablar, which means to talk. When conjugating in Spanish, we take that ER, IR, or in this case, AR ending, and replace it with a new verb ending that corresponds to each pronoun. So these are all of the verb endings for AR verbs in the present tense. We have o, as, a, amos, ais, on. For the I form, which is the yo form, we replace the AR with an O. So everyone say yo hablo, I talk. For the to form, we replace the AR with a us. So everyone say tú hablas, you talk. In the L or ella form, the ending is just an A. So everyone say él habla, ella habla. That would be he or she talks. In the nosotros form, we replace the AR with amos. Nosotros hablamos, we talk. Everyone say that. In the vosotros form, we replace the ending with ais. So we say vosotros habláis. That's you all talk. And in the ellos or ellas form, we finally change the AR ending into an AN. So we say ellos hablan, they talk. Next we have the ER verbs. We're going to use the verb correr, which means to run. The yo form is the same as AR verbs, so how do you make the yo form? That's right, you replace the ending with an O. So in this case, we replace the ER ending with an O and we say yo corro, I run. In the to form, you replace the ER ending with ES. So you say tu corres. Everyone say that. Tu corres, you run. In the ella form, you replace the ending with an E. So you say ella corre, she runs. In the nosotros form, we replace the ending with hemos. So we say nosotros corremos. In the vosotros forms, we replace the ER ending with ice. So we say vosotras corrais, you all run. And for the AS form, we replace the ER ending with EN. So we say ellas corren, they run. And I used ellas, so that means that this group is all girls. So ellas corren, all the girls run. Next we have IR verbs. We're going to use the verb vivir, which means to live, like I live in a house or I live in Iowa City, to practice. The verb endings for IR verbs are o, es, e, imos, is, en. The yo form is the same as always, so I would say yo vivo, I live. The to form is the same as the to form in the ER verbs, so the ending is es. Everyone say tu vives, you live. In the LA form, it's also the same as the ER verbs. We replace the IR ending with an E. We say él vive, he lives. Everyone say él vive or ella vive. For the nosotros or the nosotras form, we replace the IR ending with imos. So everyone say nosotros vivimos, we live. In the vosotros or vosotras form, we replace the IR ending with is. So we say, everyone say vosotros vivís, y'all live. In the ellos or ellas form, we replace the IR ending with en. So everyone say ellos viven, they all live. Okay, now let's practice. I want you to pause the video and write down the correct conjugations of the verbs in parentheses to fit the sentence. Did you get the right answers? You should have Luisa corre muy rápido en el maratón, which means she ran very fast in the marathon. You should have yo hablo for I talk every day with my parents. You should have nosotros hacemos for we make a cake for the party. You should have tú necesitas for you need a new shirt. And you should have vosotros vivís for you all live in a house in Miami. Okay, I know this is a lot. Go ahead and write down your questions and bring those to class tomorrow, and I'll answer them as we use all this stuff to start talking to each other in Spanish. Don't forget to complete the Google form where you can practice all of your new skills.